Hello and welcome to Cross-Platform Gaming. Today it's Dan and Ollie, and we're back with the final instalment of the Little Hope playthrough that we're doing. Once again, I've got Katie in the background so she can laugh at me and also let me know if anything's wrong with the stream. And Ollie is, well, at home, but we're talking over PS4 chat. So say hello, Ollie.
Buongiorno.
For our Italian fans, of course. Um, so, yeah, just a little bit of a recap. We are catching up with the action where we left off. So a little bit of a spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the second episode that we did, go back and watch that now. This stream will be live tonight, but it will. I think YouTube gives it like 24 hours until it's available. So check it again tomorrow if needs be. What I would say is that after we lost a couple of characters yesterday, Ollie went back and watched the stream and worked out another couple of things. It looks like there was a bit of a missed QTE, which is not great, but it's one of those things that we didn't expect. But it's kind of good for the story, I guess. I mean, I obviously everything that I see, you guys at home see as well, because I'm the one who's hosting the stream. But Ollie sees a couple of different things when we split up. So he watches the streams back, and then he gets a bit more information. So, Ollie, would you like to talk us through anything that you've learnt watching the stream back?
Yeah, couple of points I've got. One, just to touch on the two guys dying towards the end of the last episode. When you were as Angela and Amy was dragging her into the well, there was a QTE that you missed that was one of the target ones. So it's one of the ones where you have to get the reticule in the middle of the target and press R2.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I'm guessing it's the same that you saw, it just doesn't seem to register, or it takes so long when you pulled the trigger, and it takes ages to get to the middle. But it's that one. That's the key to how they died, I think, because when I could see from your side how you missed it, I then saw what it's like when you do miss it, and it was the exact same way as when I was Daniel and he tried to kick the what we call the demon, let's say, in the leg, and he kicked him in the middle. I had that same sort of QTE come up at that point, and it looked the same as when you did. So I'm pretty positive that I've unfortunately missed that one. So I think that may have been how he died. So as you said, we move, we live and we go. Well, they don't live, but we do, so it's fine.
Yeah, so there are only two characters
But
down. It's fine.
exactly. But that answers that question, I think. Of course, with games like this, there's decisions and stuff that we made that might mean that we never actually even get to that bit, but that's how we died in that instance. I've made a couple of notes as we were setting up the stream an hour late because there were issues. That the note below that is just to do with when they died, and it just came to me just before we went live. You know when both Daniel and Taylor died, when the camera went into the eyes and it said the personality traits that we'd unlocked for them, and then when they were actually dead, the fog seemed to come over and then they disappeared. Do you think anything? Would you think any more into that? Do you think that the people that have died, when they disappeared, means that they've sort of gone into the spirit of Little Hope and they may come back to haunt us later on, the people that we've killed off? Or do you not read any more into it? What do you think about that one? I have got a couple of points after that, so let me know what you think on that, and then I shall come back with my points.
Okay, so my thoughts on that is I think there's one of two schools that I'm kind of thinking of at the moment. So firstly, these demons, I think they're more like apparitions, because although our characters are, they're all seeing these demon-y type creatures, they come and go, and there's no trace of them, and it's it just seems very suspect how Vince didn't actually see.
Yeah, I was going to say Vince didn't see him, but then Vince could be in on it.
Well, he could be, but my idea was that maybe they are just apparitions. So if they are apparitions, how did the characters actually die? Like Daniel and Tanya, because
Yeah.
obviously Daniel lost an eye, impaled by that fence bit, and Tanya
The
had a
fence that his lookalike fell off.
yeah. And then we've got Tanya who died by having her neck snapped, like with the tongue of her. I don't know what you call it. a previous incarnation, let's say. So if they are just ghosts, what the hell happened to the characters? Is it just a case of the fog just gets too thick and they are actually alive? And we've just lost them for the rest of the story until we find out, what happens at the end? Or is it more like they are all dead? Like you said in it earlier on, and we sort of joked about Lost. So, how they're all on the island and they're all dead and it's like purgatory. It could be something similar to that. So they could have died in this area, and it's holding them there, and they're just being tortured over and over again because of the witch trials and the energy that's been left behind in that area. I don't know. That's my thoughts anyway.
Yeah, I think what we do know is we've definitely lost those two from our playthrough. Story-wise, they might come back and there might be more to explain to it, but sort of as the game goes, they're dead for us, so we know we've lost them. Another point I was going to make, which was something that you said in the last stream, you said that you were thinking that if it comes to it, and if there's a point that allows for it, and there's sort of a decision to make about Mary/Megan, whatever, the girl, that we should save her. I've stuck down in my notes that if that does happen, I also agree that we should save Mary, because I was looking into it a bit when I rewatched your stream, and a couple of things that picked up on what people have said. It looks as if the game is trying to make us think ill will towards Mary and trying to position her as sort of one of the main bad people that have done wrong by showing us quite clearly that she's colluding with the priest. What's his name? Begins with a C. Carver, is it?
Simon Carver, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like with Carver that she's colluding with them and trying to frame people for witchcraft and stuff, because she got Amy executed and Daniel's double done as well on the top of that church tower. But when you go back to the curator said, I think 2 or 3 times now, that you need to remember that she's only a kid. So I think the game wants us to not like her, but it's subtly dropping in those little hints that perhaps you should save her and she may be able to help you, just because it keeps saying she's only a kid. You got to remember that. And when people with the thing where it's saying look at your own guilt and stuff like that. So I agree with what you were saying there. But one last question for you, and a thing that hasn't been brought up for a while. Curator said it in the first episode, but I don't think it actually came up in the second episode at all. But where the hell is the bus driver?
Yeah. So that's one of those, like, what the hell has happened? Where's his part in this story? Because he knew about Little Hope. He knew something wasn't right about Little Hope when he was driving, and he was talking to the that police officer right at the start. So there's got to be a connection with him. He can't have just disappeared. So I'd like to see it come full circle and see what happened to him, or if he's okay. I mean, maybe he's a part of it. Maybe there's some part of the story that he's wrapped up in, and maybe he's been sort of dragged there by or led there by either the girl or some of these demons, and we're just kind of catching up. I'm not sure, but I guess I just kind of want to finish the story, and also hopefully end tonight with my trousers intact.
That'll be the first time it's not happened in 3 episodes. But a couple of things that come to my head just whilst we're talking about the bus driver. One is they kept saying it in the first of our episodes, but in the second they didn't mention it at all. That could mean that it was somewhere to be found in the first and we've missed it, so we've just missed that part of the story. Or it could be they're trying to throw us off the trail and it will come in when we go into the next one. But something that just come into my head as well, you just mentioned the policeman there, and I've just thought back to him, and I can see him a bit in my head, and I think that he might be the double of Isaac the Executioner, the marshal from the 1600s bit. He looks a lot like him. He was a white, bold bloke, and with the same hat on, if you remember, when he was the marshal and when he was the police officer.
Sort of, yeah.
I think they might be the double, them two.
Okay. In that case, yeah, that's something else actually I hadn't thought of. I hadn't even had a second thought about that sheriff. It was like...
No, it just came into my head out of nowhere, and I don't know why, but I've just convinced myself.
Yeah. Well, also, one of the things that I'm quite looking forward to is So we saw in the library when the curator was first picking up the book for Little Hope, we saw a reference to the first game, Man of Medan, with one of the spines on the book having the boat symbol. This one had the effigy that's on the cover art as well. And then it seemed to show quite clearly at least two others that would be related. Now, we know that the next Dark Pictures game has been announced for next year already. That's called House of Ashes. And what happened with Man of Medan is when we completed it, it gave us a little teaser trailer for this one. So I'd quite like to see if they've done the same here. Like once we complete it, it's like as a reward, it's like here's a trailer for the next game.
Yeah, I think they will, and I'm quite intrigued to see where they go with it as well and who's in it. I know you've had a quick look and you think that, well, not that you think that, I think it's been announced that Ashley Tisdale's in it, so they're getting some decent names for it. But yeah, I'd be quite intrigued to see how that looks and see how it, well, on probably about 30 seconds to a minute's worth of footage, whether it matches up with the two that we've already played.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm ready to go into it if you are. I mean, I'm not ready, but you know, are we ever?
Yeah, let's give it a go. Just a couple of points that I was going to raise that aren't technically to do with the story. One is that I have, since the filming of episode 2, found my pop filter. So hopefully you shouldn't hear me breathing down the mic and into your ears throughout the whole episode. So apologies on my behalf for last time. But it should be better this time, and I hope it's already better. And lastly, we have a brand new video scheduled for Tuesday at 6:30. So that'll be hitting the channel at that time, and that is another episode of our Take Note tier lists. So we were doing the Ubisoft games before, and we're going to be ranking from worst to best all of the games released by Rockstar. So a bit of a podcast format video coming for you guys on Tuesday night, so be sure to look out for that. Right then, I'm going to hit continue and ready up.
Oh, one last thing before we actually load into the game.
I think you're going to say what I've just thought of. Yeah, go on.
Okay, it was something we mentioned before the stream. Yeah. When we played Man of Medan, we accidentally fell upon something that was, I'm not sure if it was a bug or a gimmick or whether it was intentional or not. But basically, it was a QTE event and we lost connection after we just lost a character. When we started the game back up and went into it, it spawned us back at the point just before we'd missed the QTE. So we were able to actually then go back and save that character, which was really weird, but obviously we were really grateful for it because it turns out that was quite a turning point in the story. That's like how you get a good ending. So one of the things that we're hoping this time is that it might do the same thing. Now, because we went straight to the curator and we actually watched what he had to say before going in, I'm not sure if it will go there, but I would quite like to see if it just takes us back just far enough that we can retry that QT and maybe save those two characters.
Yeah, there's a slim chance it could take us back that far. But if it does take us back that far, there's also a chance that we could hit the QTE and then it turned out that wasn't even it and we did something along the way. So it would be quite interesting to find out what happened. But I suppose in 2 seconds, we're about to find out if that's going to be the case or not.
Yep.
I reckon it'll be, because we sat through the whole curator thing, I reckon it saves in the background when you're doing that, so I don't think it will have, but you never know.
Yeah, we can hope. I mean,
Little hope.
Hey, I'm not really too bothered if we have lost those characters because, I mean, this is our playthrough, you know, well, it's our first playthrough. I mean, it's just been a good story and it's been a nice little Halloween treat, hopefully, for the viewers.
Yeah. I think we should do some themed stuff, but I don't really know what else we could do for, like, bonfire night. What are we going to do?
I don't know, but I know I definitely don't want to do anything Christmas-themed.
Oh, I think it's right after.
Yeah, it is.
Right after the curator.
Keep a lookout
You're
for
cutting
the
out
girl.
again, mate.
We have to stop her.
I, for one, hope I never see that girl ever again.
Through the objectives.
Hang on, mate,
Sure
because
she'll be
you were
back
cutting
real
out
soon.
really badly.
Keep your eyes and ears open.
Say that again?
I just said
No.
the objective.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on with your net when we do this, but sometimes it just...
I don't think it is, because it's whenever we start the game and that, and you're having so many issues with the stream. I don't think it is my side.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, because I'm looking at the stream health now, and it's fine. It's been stable this whole time, so...
No, as in just for the audio.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
But I was just going through the
Oh,
objectives.
right, okay. Well, there's a split path here. One of them's lit up, which would say, "Hey, this
Can you actually go
yeah,
that way?
I think so.
This may sound crazy.
They both go the same. No, they don't.
What if
What do you
saving
think?
our doubles
I'm happy
from
to go what you want to go with.
how we save ourselves?
So I think if we go right, we're gonna get to the scary bits and probably the story a bit quicker. If we go to the left, there might be something that we can find out for later on. What do you reckon? Which one should we do? In fact, we could get Katie to pick for us. Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
what's going on here?
Fair.
Oh, right, okay. What do you reckon, Kate? Do we go left or right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So let's go towards the light path. I like how you've let me go first as well. That's awesome.
You're a shocking man.
This is the house that burnt down.
It?
I've got a feeling this is it looks like it's been on fire, doesn't it?
Yeah. What are they, like fireflies, or is it like bits of cinder and that?
Fireflies.
Yeah, fireflies.
That's what's causing the glow.
I didn't know we were playing Last of Us.
What is that light? Looks kind of beautiful, don't you think? Never thought I'd say that about anything here.
Oh god, I knew that was coming. That wasn't too bad. Okay.
No, this cannot be. My own eyes deceive me. My apologies for the lateness of the hour, but I must speak with you.
What ails you, my friend?
It is Mary. I am troubled by her, by the part she has played in these trials.
Those trials trouble us all.
There is more to this. I saw her smile as her own sister was executed. She took pleasure from it.
Are you certain?
I am. But now that she speaks of guilt and remorse, it is hard not to believe her.
Keep away from her, Abraham. No good can come from being with that child.
Too late. Their brother and sister
Abraham from the massacre
Mary
list.
now lives under my roof.
Your charity places you in grave danger.
What do you advise?
Tell the court you suspect she toys with us all. That you saw her delight in her own sister's death. I implore you.
I am torn. Mary seems full of
Keep your
remorse.
suspicions to yourself, and it's our community which will suffer. None of us is safe from her wild imaginings.
Very well. If
You
the
got
court
leggings
will
on.
listen,
I think so.
I will speak.
Chic.
Ahead of his time.
I am bewitched.
You're not bewitched.
How else can your presence be explained?
I can't explain this, but you're not.
She has conjured you to defend her. To press me into silence. Only the devil could create a demon who so resembles me.
I'm not a demon. But we do look alike, which I agree is pretty damn weird.
I don't like the fact that his lips
do you
don't
want
move
from me?
enough.
I want to know what you're going to say to the court. About
You're
Mary.
looking at.
I was
Huh?
decided to speak to the court. Now I am not so sure.
Tell the court what the girl has done. It's what your friend asked of you.
The devil has sent you to tempt me. I must not succumb. Little Hope is no longer the town I knew. Strange and disturbing events have become commonplace. You, whatever you are but
Rude.
one of these. Revealing the truth about Mary may save my friend, but it does not sit easily with me that in doing so I condemn a child.
Alright, I've got an option for
Putting
this.
it all on a kid isn't right. The priest is the one driving this whole thing.
Are you serious? The girl is the one we need to stop, not anyone else.
Reverend Carver is a man guided by God. No one can doubt that.
I think that's what he wants everyone to believe. Because there's something fishy about that reverend, isn't there?
What the hell were you thinking speaking up for that kid? You may have just
He was
sentenced
setting
us
everything
both
up.
to death.
I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. Nothing here makes sense.
Mary is no ordinary child. If we want to get out of this, she has to be stopped.
Everything just points towards stopping the kid, and it seems like it's leading you down a very straight path. And we know too much about these games.
Let's check that out. It'll get us out of these damn woods, and we can talk on the way.
Oh, now I'm John. Oh, okay.
Pixel, and I'm right at the back.
All I heard was I'm right at the back. You were cutting out again.
I was right at the back.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to know what that guy's gonna do. He has to say something against Mary, and what she's been up to.
What do you mean?
We saw Andrew's double. He knows Mary's accusations are false and wants to speak out against her.
Well, that's something.
I'm not sure it's the good news you think it is.
Oh, so now we've got Angela. Oh, something to investigate over it. Hello? What? There's an effigy. Is your headset charged, mate, or your controller? Because I can't hear a word you're saying.
Yeah, it's all fine.
It's
Think it might be because the PS4's in the other room.
it could be. Have you maybe opened the door, so it's got a straight path for the Bluetooth?
Okay, tell me if you can hear the fans then if I do.
Okay. Yeah, because until I get PS5, it's going to sound like a jet engine.
Alright, the door's open, but...
Yeah, to be fair, you can't hear it that badly, so...
Hurry it up, please. Whatever we saw back there, or thought we saw, we're still in grave danger. There must be something we can do. Mary's in the middle.
There was an
of all
option for
this,
me to
that
have a
I'm
go at
certain.
Andrew then, but I didn't take it.
You've seen what happens to anyone found guilty. Justice here is a one-way ticket. You think putting that on a little kid is a good way to go? Because I don't.
You haven't quite grasped this yet. This is life or death. Her or
It was
us.
either that
Your
or
bleeding heart will get us all
you need to
killed.
kill the
I don't
girl.
want to gang
So
up on you, but he's right. After everything I've seen tonight, John's just telling it like it is.
I'm having deja vu.
Can't stop us from doing it.
Me too. I recognize
what's
this place.
this? He recognises this place? What's that? Oh, I've got a premonition here. Oh, John getting... Oh, Jesus. John getting his neck broken.
Alright, that's not...
Jesus. Let's have a look at that. It's a bit severe.
We don't know.
But it doesn't really give anything away, like what happened or
Never an
who's
easy
in
way,
the
man.
area.
No.
Or...
They had dodgy arms. What we've learnt so far, you can just guess that it's going to be we'll run into John Dub.
Yeah, I guess so.
Up
There's
here.
something on here. It's Mayor Hale's land deal. Fear protests will surely escalate as closure looms. Maybe that's to do with the factory shutting down.
Chester. What's that supposed to be? Oh,
Mate, I can't hear anything. You keep cutting out.
Sam Carver for mayor.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Katie said it's oh.
What? Katie
So
said
Katie
what?
said it's on the stream that it's cutting out as well. So I think it is your side.
Yeah.
But
I was cutting on yesterday as well. No, what else
yeah,
we can
I
do?
don't know. It's all right when you
If I cut out, just tell me to.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be better when you're speaking a bit louder. I don't know if that's the thing, but maybe the mic's a bit far away to pick you up until you speak louder. I don't know. Nope. Never mind.
Saying the issues that have been going on since the PlayStation update because you've been out.
Oh yeah, that's true. It could be that. But so I'll just. I think this is what you're trying to say anyway. So this is Samuel Carver for mayor, but this is obviously not the same Samuel Carver. So this might have been his reincarnation. Obviously, someone's made him out to be the devil. So
It looked like him, or do you think it might be a relative?
yeah,
or...
maybe. For me, I would say that's more evidence that there's something not right about him. Like maybe that's the first little bit of insight that we've got to.
The bloke on the picture does look a bit older. It could be him when he's older because
Yeah,
in the
you wouldn't have had that kind of. You wouldn't have had a poster like that in the 1600s.
No, but then you wouldn't have dead people killing you. So
There's a way in here.
why are we here? Why is that down
No,
there?
that's creepy, isn't it?
Hey!
Hey, Vince.
I don't know what to think about Vince.
I don't think he gets how bad a mess we're in.
Come on, inside.
Well, no one's been here for a long
Oh,
time.
Christ. That scared me a little bit.
Now is my time to speak before the judge.
Maybe
I
we're
jumped a
finally
bit, to be
getting
fair.
somewhere.
Right.
I am
It
filled
just
with
happened to
dread.
be looking out the door, and
I
then that
cannot
was
know
in my
how
ear.
testimony will be received.
We need to let the people on the stream know that we've got the volume cranked up in our
Yeah,
ears.
and we're playing in the dark.
Yeah.
His words
I'm probably less than a meter away from my screen, so.
Yeah, I'm right, nose up there, I know.
In this deception. And lest we forget, you condemned Joseph to death only yesterday. Or do you now question that decision?
I have heard nothing today to sway my conviction. Joseph consorted with the same malicious force as his wife. For this the court thanks Reverend Carver, who faced the devil's wrath to present the evidence.
It is only my duty, Judge.
However,
He seems
this
to
court
revel
is
in
duty
killing
bound
people,
by
doesn't
law
he?
to seek out the truth.
Yeah. He's quite clearly the
Examine
dick.
these claims made by Abraham against Mary.
We've got the right view on him.
Speak briefly, Judge Wyman.
Time is short, Reverend. Be indeed brief.
Be indeed
Mary
brief!
has shown great fortitude to speak out against the evil here. Many would have lacked her courage. Yet her reward for exposing this brooding covered in our midst is to be besmirched.
Her courage is not in question. It is her intent, we must be certain.
Her accuser is the very man entrusted to care for this innocent child. Plain to see, he is not fit for such a task. And I would
He
ask the
seems so
court to have
dead
Mary
set
placed
against
elsewhere.
everybody else, other than
Who
the
would you
kid.
have be her new ward, Reverend?
Yeah.
I am prepared to take responsibility for the child, if the court agrees.
First, the court must hear what Abraham has to say. No decision can be made on the child until then. Abraham!
What am I to do? Some would have me speak out against Mary, but could a child truly be capable of such evil?
I understand your dilemma. The consequences couldn't be more serious, but the girl is so young.
Well, we
I
helped
know,
him.
well, it was either that or her heart is as black as coal.
Tell the court what you have come here to say.
So
Oh, God.
that was the
Speak up,
friendliest thing
boy.
I could suggest.
Out with it!
Mary has spoken of evil spirits, devilry and witchcraft. Things many cannot believe could exist here in
I'm
Little
not here
Hope.
for history and hearsay. Get to the point, boy.
Right.
Mary is tormented. The apparitions she has seen, they have plagued her, stolen her innocence. Some suggest she is in league with these creatures, but no one can be certain. Myself least of all. Can any of us truly know a child's mind?
You claim I lack the ability to see the truth.
I beg forgiveness. I would never suggest such a thing.
My time is not for wasting. You and the priest have irked me enough for one day.
I have more to say.
I have already given you enough time. Furthermore, Mary is to be placed into the care of Reverend Carver. Now stand down.
I mean, I guess it sort of went our way because we saved her from condemnation, but it didn't sound like it went the way we really wanted it to go.
Why is nobody pointing the blame on the priest?
What did you see? Andrew's double?
God knows at the
Told
minute,
the
but,
judge that
well,
Mary did nothing
back
wrong.
in them days, you'd
She's
never
the
blame
victim
anyone on
here.
a cloth, would you?
So what happens now?
I would have, but, you know. Then I'd have been tried for witchcraft.
This helps us. Has to. We now know for sure that we can alter what happens.
Is he right? You go along with that?
If it was nowadays, you wouldn't place... Oh, this is controversial. If it was nowadays, you wouldn't place a child under one of their care, would you? But back in the day, you didn't think those things of them automatically.
We are open to all faiths, of course, but...
Yeah, but we've gone up from 3 viewers to 4 after that comment, so people like it, it's fine.
Yeah, that's what we can attribute it to.
Oh, 100%, that was it.
Right.
Explore the factory, find another route out the building.
Where's the way that we came in? Is that down there? It says, oh, there's something to examine
That's
here.
the door that's right there.
Let me examine it. Come on. Give me a thing. In memory of James Clark, sadly missed by many of his family, friends and colleagues. James.
Do we know James Clark? It's not a name that rings a bell.
So, but look at the time. Look at his year of death. Oh, it says 1972. That's when he died.
Oh yeah, so it's it.
James.
Oh, James.
James was John's.
James. Yeah, I think
Right.
James was John. That's what I was
Okay.
going to say.
Examine. What are we examining here? There's quite a few things to examine in here. We should examine as much as possible, I think. I've got a picture. No, come on, pick up the picture, you idiot.
Is this the factory?
Yes.
So James worked in the factory they were
Yeah.
protesting about. Okay, I'm pulling open this drawer.
Looking at a photograph. Oh, jeez. That's the family. That's the family, including the little girl. Uh-oh.
Get
Oh,
over
okay,
here.
well.
I just picked up a picture that says "Kiss my
Okay,
ass."
mine had a picture of the family.
This is impossible.
I want to know about "Kiss my ass."
Okay. I don't know how or why, but this town has more than one version of each of us. First, from the witch trials hundreds of years ago, and now this family in the 70s.
What does all this shit mean?
So you know the family in the 70s?
You think this family all died like the other versions of us?
Technically, if the family
Hey?
from the 70s, they would still be around now,
what
right?
happened
If
to
they
them.
didn't die.
I just don't get how any of this is
Yeah.
possible.
Old though, because if you see that bloke was born in 1929.
What the hell you doing?
No one's gonna believe this shit. I want proof that it
Also,
happened.
oh, it's gone back down. We went up to 5 viewers then, but it's back to 4.
You're a
But hello to the 4.
Explain that photograph to me.
Yeah, in this drawer, I just picked it up. There's a piece of paper that says "Kiss my ass." I haven't turned it over yet though. Yeah, the drawer you're looking
yeah,
at.
I see it. Kiss.
Magically
Kiss my
gone back
ass.
into
Oh,
there.
It
Give it a
says,
turn.
Dear Mr. Barnes, employment warning letter. Follow our recent disciplinary meeting. I'm writing regarding your attendance and behaviour. Management have made every effort to accommodate your difficult circumstances and recent injury by accepting your recurring absences. However, continued warnings regarding attendance, lateness and intoxication have prompted us to issue a formal written warning. Further repetition of this behaviour or other misconduct within the next 12 months will result in dismissal. Ravendon expects our employees to be enthusiastic, punctual and sober. You must acknowledge receipt of this letter. Please sign and return it to the foreman's office within 7 days. So,
Well, he's
yeah,
technically
that's kiss my
signed it.
ass. So
Kiss
that's
my
what that's
ass.
about.
Could this whole thing be some kind of crazy hoax?
A photograph can be faked, but people from the past and those things chasing us? No.
I guess.
Besides, that would be one hell of an elaborate hoax.
Right. Daniel thought we might all...
Doing here, I think.
Yeah, neat theory, but
Oh,
I
there's
don't
something
see
up
it
with
there.
there.
Yeah,
With
she's
Angela.
staring at that picture.
We could have died in the crash, though, right?
There's another room to the left.
What
The
is she
crash was
staring at?
nowhere near bad enough.
What are you dusting off here?
Picture.
Hair and pants like that can only mean one thing. It was the
Photo.
70s.
Nothing comes close to that 70s style.
So obviously it's making us look at the guy on the left because he's the only one that looks like a video game character.
Yeah. More specifically, would you say that's Vince?
I would have said it was one of two people. I think it's either Vince, but Vince might even be this person. But I think it's Vince or the boyfriend that when we went to Tanya in the 70s that dropped her off at the house. So
Okay,
Taylor's
now,
double.
I've got a random thought. What if they're the same person?
There's got to be another.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, they could be the same person.
Multiverse? You somehow
It
stumbled into a
seems
parallel
very,
world?
very.
I'm impressed you know about that stuff, but
Suspicious.
the theory is more about multiple worlds, not multiple versions of ourselves.
I mean, he's basically the only black guy in the village as well.
We're all
So
dreaming?
you know.
No,
Well, yeah.
that doesn't add up. Some
Oh,
kind of collective
jeez.
delusion.
That's got no
maybe?
textures on it.
Then what exactly gives with this place?
Oh, there's a door here.
Yeah.
Nothing
let's
to
I'm
do it.
coming here.
That's for sure.
Paper.
Oh, I swear the controls on this are ridiculously clunky.
Oh no, they're horrible. Little Hope factory to close.
Well, we knew that much.
Hundreds of layoffs will gut the town. 600 jobs set to be lost. When the Ravendon textiles factory closes. I've heard Ravendon written on the wall somewhere, so that's at least we know that's just
Yeah.
the name of this. Dialogue with the Carver family. Decision announced on Tuesday by Hazel Carver, a director in the family business that has been the primary employer in the town for over 160 years. So the Carvers, Mayor Carver has rejected them at every turn. The Carvers run this whole
Right,
town.
Okay, so that's dodgy. Oh no, it's okay. I thought something was happening. Then it just went to a weird cutscene because I didn't move for a second. Oh, there's
Oh,
another
yeah.
doorway here, I think. I've checked that room. There's nothing else. But further
Okay.
down this corridor, I think this is a door. Yep. Oh, something to investigate here. Oh, come on, you move. Jesus.
That's the lawyer.
What's that on the floor? There's like a book on the
What's
floor.
what on the floor?
Yeah.
Is there?
Just. Oh, okay.
There's a piece of paper here.
Oh, yeah, it's the judge. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. Judge Wyman's letter.
Having read Captain Bond's letter attesting the affair with Lieutenant Hope, and heard the petitions of the townsmen, I write to express my signal concernment. Pastor Carver's teaching strayed from true doctrine. Who's this? Thos Wyman, judge.
Yeah, that's the,
Oh, that must be
that's
the bloke.
judge who's on the wall.
His mind wandered from the fellowship of saints and surrendered into sin over many years. Please attend to his past behaviours which infect and corrupt the town. I ask a commission be appointed to examine such affairs of last year, including the matter of the girl. Okay, so he finally turns on
Right,
the
okay.
priest at some point and finds out
So
that
that's
he's
our
not all
first
as he
bit of
says he is.
evidence, really, against the priest.
This room's been ransacked. Anything further down here?
Keep going. Oh, yeah. Another room. Inspect. What's this say? Factory closure. Closed due to liquidation of Little Hope Textiles Limited. Following several incidents since the closure of the factory has been placed off limits. Attempts to enter the premises will be treated as criminal trespass. Any former workers wishing to retrieve property can contact our office at 555-6686. That seems very close to 666, that number. Carver Factory, Devil.
Can we go any further? I don't think we can.
Carver Factory, outside the Carver thing had 666 on it. That number seems very suspiciously close to 666.
There's a locker here I can look in.
Let's do that.
We opened a locker on the first game. I
my
don't remember
God.
if you know if you remember,
Yep,
a body
I do
fell out of
remember
it.
that. And that
So-
time I opened a curtain and a head rolled out of it. That was.
Yeah. So it's a picture of the guy from the photo upstairs. And I think it's the boyfriend because he's with a girl, but the girl's face has been torn out. I think we'd see that that was.
Personal stuff.
Yeah, it's Tanya and Vince. It's Vince.
Right,
Vince
okay,
is that
Vince
guy.
the
We're right.
Okay, cool. Okay.
But why is he older now? He must have stayed alive and
Okay.
stayed around from the 70s because
Yeah.
he's old bloke now, isn't he?
I think.
So he must remember Tanya. So surely he was like, what the hell when he saw
Yeah.
Taylor?
What's over this way?
Well, at least we finally figured out who
Oh,
Vince
something
is.
here. What the hell is this doing? I pressed X and it just spins around. Cancelled order.
Andrew, get over here and help
Right,
me.
boss.
What's up?
I'll push from this end, you from the other.
QTE time.
Everything you got.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh Jesus.
You stay down there,
can
yeah.
I
Dan.
switch characters, please.
No, that's fine. You're down there now.
No,
I'll
it's
see you
okay.
later, mate.
I think
I'm
I
okay.
could do with some help.
Just about.
No, it's fine. You take
way
it. You've
back
got this
up.
one.
I'll look for a
No,
way out down here.
Okay.
I don't like this.
We'll meet up at the back of the building.
Sure.
It's fine. We'll meet up at the back of the building,
I
mate.
prefer no.
Yeah,
I prefer
it's fine.
not to.
Be careful down there, John.
You'll
No.
be fine. Don't worry.
I don't want to be fine.
Take it we're seeing different things now.
I'm seeing Andrew and Angela skirt around the edge of the hole.
Oh, okay. Imagine if it's
That'd
me
be
and you
alright.
here then. You can be
That's
Angela
fine.
and I'll be Andrew. Whatever
Yeah.
happens to John happens to him.
Oh. Oh, I'm seeing John.
I'm seeing Angela.
Something's going to happen here. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Andrew?
Someone's standing above him.
Why have I got no light?
Going
Someone's
up there?
standing above him. It's the little girl.
Hey.
Oh,
Oh, I've got a piano playing in my ear.
Boy.
no, it was a little girl. Oh my god. Help me.
We're coming
Don't
for you.
say that.
No, as in coming
No,
to
you-
get you.
Oh god, the fog's thick. I've gone
Andrew?
into a dark building. A torch is
You
gone.
up there?
Oh god.
I'm in some sort of
I
brick
can
tunnel.
hear- yeah, same. I think I've.
Oh, hello.
Wow.
Oh,
Do you two look good?
Nice of you
oh
to notice.
Jesus.
Looks like you've been to the same beauty parlor as me. Swampy's.
Funny.
Ah, there we go. Finally got
Also
textures on
true.
John's face.
Is he going to mention the fact that he saw Mary, Megan, whatever her name is?
Well, I just got a huge fake out with all the music
I'm
playing and going
pleased
through
to
that
see
thing, so
you.
something's
Same
about to happen because it won't leave us that easy. Here we go.
Oh fuck! Oh my
Hello.
god!
Alright, lover?
That's Angela's thingamajiggy, innit?
Yeah. Angela, so great.
Oh, I don't want to open this. Something's going to pop out, isn't it? Oh, okay. Secret found.
That's the.
That's the medallion.
Yeah.
That's the medallion that Vince had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what we do with that. Oh,
Is
there,
that
there's
I can
there's
interact
Mary,
with the
Megan,
boot, I
whatever
think.
her face is. She's there. I'm looking at her.
Hold on, I'm opening the boot. Do you want to
Not
come
really.
round?
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll open
No,
it by
I'm
myself
here,
then.
I'm
It's
here,
going to
I'm
come
here,
out
I'm
of
here.
it. It says, burn in hell.
Burn in hell.
Nice.
Mr. leaving the little
Try to
police
forget
department
our
yesterday.
sons.
Light has gone over the tragic case of the Clark
You're a
House
bit
fire.
choppy again.
Onlookers is thing about
No, it's all choppy again.
get a second.
That
What about
seems
now?
better.
It's a police cutout from the paper. It says
Okay.
"Burn in Hell" over a picture of Andrew walking away from the police because it says a line has been drawn under the tragic case of the Clark fire. Onlookers watched as Anthony Clark, the only survivor of the blaze, was released from.
Hang on a minute. Anthony survived?
Yeah, you know when he ran in at the end, he survived.
Right, okay. So if he survived, why did Vince not freak out when he saw Andrew?
God knows, but at the start, you know when the neighbour comes over and he's got the matches in his hand, that's obviously why they thought he did it. But the neighbour is the double of the judge,
Yeah.
if you remember.
Because we said, why
Asian
is there
guy.
like a Japanesey, Chinesey
Yeah.
kind of...
And he was the same looking bloke as
Right,
the
okay.
as the judge. So there's doubles of everyone.
Okay, right. Now, if you walk away from there and look into this housey thing, you should see the little girl. Or her silhouette. Look at that fence behind you.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you see the little girl's silhouette?
Oh yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
I'll go then, shall I?
I can't.
Say hello. Oh, I was.
Get over here now.
Do we have to? Oh, that's the burnt down house. Maybe?
I didn't have my eyes fully open, so I didn't take the
okay.
house in. So I don't know at the minute.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
I'm a bit more on edge this episode.
It's all going to come to a climax, isn't it? So it's going to be absolutely pant-changing moments. Oh! Why does it do that? It doesn't need to jump scare like that.
Hey up, look, the stoning, like what we saw in the museum.
Not even your
And we said it was John.
Yeah.
So he's been crushed twice now.
You're not fit. Speaking of my late wife.
There is still fight in you. I must drive the devil out for the safety of everyone here.
Oh, no, what is say?
Joseph, do you renounce the devil and all his teachings?
I carry no sin. I'm not
Again, I think confirms our point about why John was holding his stomach
And
so
his
much.
chest, yeah, because he's been like crushed. And
Yeah.
servants.
What a horrible way to die, Jesus. Try and be nice to her.
Joseph, sorry. Yeah. Have to go. They'll lift.
You're cutting out again, mate.
Come on, help me!
No, still can't hear you.
There can be
Give
no
it a
more
sec.
doubting. This is witchcraft.
Point's just been done anyway. I said, they'll see it lifting and think it's
Okay.
witchcraft. That's literally what just happened.
Do not flinch. The fate of little Orc rests in your hands.
No, don't let him be killed. Don't let him be killed. Oh, Jesus. Brilliant. Oh, don't do that. Fucking Katie just grabbed me.
She's taking it.
I can't hear a word. You keep cutting out, mate.
I'll just play along and it can be you on the stream then.
What did you say? Try again.
I just said she's taking you into the vortex.
Yeah, tell me about it. Jesus. I do think it might be to do with how far away from you are from your PlayStation with your controller, because mine does that sometimes, like when I walk into the other room.
We're screwed.
Okay. Well, if I bring it back, tell me if
Just
the
move
fans
it,
are too
just
much,
move it
and I'll
like
go
a
and grab
little
it
bit
now.
closer and see if... Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, don't fall.
Hold on then, because I probably need to do some. Because I'll need to put QTEs in or something. It's got its back to me, so if I bring it in, it's going to be difficult. But one sec, because there might be a chance that I will
Yeah, let's
drop
hope
out.
it doesn't
So
not here, because Jesus Christ. That would kill me.
You should hit the fan a bit now, but it's alright. Okay, I've brought it inside with the face... Oh god, with the base of it showing. So, it should, hopefully, sort the issue.
No,
Have I
it
cracked
sounds
up
good, to be
since?
fair.
Okay, let's hope that was it then. Right, you ready to dive straight back in? Clearly.
Oh, right. I need to sort something out. 1 sec before we go in. No,
Change
no,
your trousers,
not
yeah,
quite.
that's
Okay,
fine.
just come back into the room. I swear to God, if you do that again, I'm gonna smash your head against the door.
Whoa, we don't condone domestic
No, of
violence
course we
on the
don't,
channel.
and I would never normally hit a woman. However, knowing how much I'm already shitting my pants whilst playing this game and watching it and whatever, you should know better than to try and grab somebody when they're not fucking expecting it. I swear to God, I almost turned around and twatted her. So, that's fair warning. That is fair warning as far as I'm concerned.
Are you going to be on edge now?
Yeah, I'm going to be on edge. I don't know where to turn. I'm staring at my screen. I've got to turn around to keep an eye on you. I'm going to shit my pants. Oh, right. Let's continue.
2 secs, let me just reply to the guy that's fixing my laptop. I'll be 2 seconds.
2 seconds is not good enough. Jeez.
Right, I'm ready to go.
He says.
Can you hear my fans, or is
No,
that
it's-
not
it's
too
fine.
bad?
What are you doing? I'm done running! Time for payback for Taylor and Daniel!
Are you crazy? We
You'll have a
I
QTE,
know, I
mate.
know.
We've got to hit him. Oh, coming after me.
Oh, I've got one. Oh, God. Oh, I think... Oh, yes, I got it. Oh, thank Christ for that. I think maybe this could be where I die. Oh, Jesus. Oh, this could be where I get choked out. Oh, my God. That is ugly AF.
I haven't even had a QTE yet.
Oh, I've missed... Oh, my God, I missed it. Oh,
Oh
I might
no.
have saved it. I might have saved it. This is you. Come on, save me. Oh, Jesus Christ. I got this thing back. Don't get choked out. Don't get choked out. Oh God! Oh my God! I am so on edge. I've got so many QTEs, and they're all the ones where you have to use the trigger. Oh no! What the hell?
It's locked.
Use the hammer on the
One of them's
freaking
going to
door.
be John's now.
Oh no, I'm gonna get choked out. Oh God, I can feel it. Come on, save me. What's this? Oh, another one. Oh yes.
Boot
That was a
it, boot
QT.
it.
Come on.
Inside!
I did...
Take the
Come
hammer,
on,
take
man.
the hammer.
How many times have I got to kill this thing?
Leg
Help
lock.
me.
Leg
Help
lock.
me.
Get in here!
What the hell? They absolutely wanted John to die then, didn't they? Oh, this is... He's against the door.
Yeah, because we've
He's
just seen his
against the
double
door.
die,
If he gets
so...
choked out here.
We gotta go! Like now!
Leave me and go.
Big is only interested in me! Get out of here!
I'm sacrificing myself.
Oh, he's
it's
definitely
alright.
dying.
I'll hold it back!
You can get away! Escape! I did! You don't have to do this!
This is stupid! Get out of there!
It's gonna strangle me. It's gonna strangle me. I've got a feeling it's gonna strangle me. It's gonna pop through.
Yeah, I think he's going to come through.
I don't see it.
It's too obvious. I'm gonna die. I can feel it. I'm gonna get absolutely ravaged. No, don't look through. Don't look through. Run away. Be smart about this. I don't want to look at the screen because I know it's going to happen. It's going to be all in my ears. Oh,
No,
God's
save.
sake, jeez.
Where in God's name are we
I'm
now?
so on edge.
Place looks like it burnt down.
Yeah.
This is the burnt house, isn't it?
Maybe?
Something here isn't right.
What's new? Nothing here feels right.
Oh no, this is definitely the burnt house. Yeah. I'm Angela. No.
I don't like
there's-
these
right,
sounds.
So, there's a lot here to examine. I think from like things that I've seen is that like this is one of the. Oh, I've got a premonition. It's a witch on a broomstick. Oh, hello. Hang on.
Bitch on a pension, suck my dog.
That was weird. That was. I think that was a trailer or something towards the next game.
It looked like actually Tisdale.
Yeah, that looks like actually
really?
Tisdale. Don't know. Pick it up and
Why
have
have
a
I
look.
just put it down? Yeah, it is her. Perhaps she comes in at the end of this then.
Yeah, maybe she's
set
like
up the next
related
one.
in some way or other. Why am I inspecting? The tyre swing is in the garden.
Oh, you've left me then.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there.
The tyre swing is in the garden if you look out there. We need to check
Oh,
absolutely
yeah, the
everywhere.
Taylor had when she was
this is
younger.
going to be full of secrets, I imagine. I can see the girl.
This is the climax, isn't it? Oh, there she is.
Right, guess where we've got to go then.
Yeah.
Right, let's do this.
Oh, there's something on the floor.
Okay,
A book.
What's in the book? What's it say?
The Modern Guide to Successful Parenting.
Can you open it? Can you read it? There's a reason why we can examine it.
Yeah. Oh, the argument from the prologue when they're saying if we had kids of our own, none of this would be happening is playing in my ears when I'm reading this book. Parents unhappy with their own upbringing can overcompensate. Spoiling a child has grave consequences. There's a whole thing to read. I'm not going to read it all. Rebellious child.
I've got
Punishments
I've got a
followed
picture
through.
Here.
Should one
James
parent
and Anne,
relax their
4th
discipline?
of November 1948. Secret found, it says. Oh, I think they support you into a cutscene.
I
Yeah,
know
I
who
s-
I married, and it wasn't John.
Doesn't make sense.
This isn't happening.
I can hear that noise of the creature outside. Right, I'm now stuck here. I think we've got
Going
to
into
go back
it?
round. We need to go upstairs, don't we? So, hello? What?
Yeah. I can't move. There we go. Nope, I can't move.
This is so
there we go.
weird.
What the hell?
It would help if it wasn't so clunky. Why does it keep stopping? Jesus Christ!
Where are the
Oh, there's
stairs?
a door here. Oh, there's more stuff to investigate here. You have a look out there. Tell me what's out there.
Oh,
There's a bit
I
of
am.
wall
I
here
am, but I
that's-
don't like.
I'm about to clean off. Uh-oh.
I'm looking outside and it won't let me move.
There's a child's drawing on the wall here with an evil thing looking at a girl, and it looks like she's holding a doll. If you come and have a look at this,
So I guess that's Megan.
So wait. I've got a
She's
cutscene. There's something
holding, you know,
outside.
the doll
Oh, yeah, that thing's
that she was
outside.
talking to.
so no, I can't.
Can you see this
I've
cutscene?
got
There's the thing outside, and I've just had really loud music, and it's running across the
Okay.
garden towards the house.
well, for me, what I'm looking at is a child's drawing on a wall, and it's got a character in black with red eyes and claw-like hands.
The devil.
Yeah.
Oh, from the
but
prologue.
I think that's meant to be the priest. And it's got the
Yeah,
girl.
could be.
Looks like it could be Megan. She's unhappy and she's holding the doll that she's holding in her bedroom by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll answer what the thing with the hands was at the prologue. Remember when it come up next to
Got
her?
an idea. One sec.
You know when the fire started and she went into her room and she was talking to the doll, and it was like she was being told off or something. Do you think
Yeah.
that was maybe what she was imagining?
Maybe, yeah. So she might have been talking to the priest, like if she was seeing the priest,
Yeah.
like, you know how we're seeing things in the past. I don't want to go
Go
to
to that window, by the way.
thanks. No thanks.
See if you can see what I saw.
Yeah, I am.
You
I'm
pussy
not
off.
afraid to admit it, but I've just walked through this door. There's another window to look through.
Yeah, she was saying something about her family being like this, and she was talking to the thing with the hands that look like that drawing. So yeah, it could very well be the priest.
Yeah,
we're
there's something
talking
here
to.
I'm examining. It's a
I'm examining a bloody window
This is
again. And
it
he's
says
looking
letter
through
from
it.
Reverend Carson, September 1971. It says, Dear Anne, thank you for your letter regarding Megan. I understand your concerns and I assure you that your daughter's rebellious behaviour is not unusual. I've helped parents with similar issues and would be happy to help with Megan's moral guidance. Hebrews 12:11 says that all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness. Please see me after the service on Sunday so we can arrange time for some personal instruction. That's another Carson being a reverend. Why is it not handing this over?
Oh, because I need to do the thing. Hold on.
Oh, I'm just putting it down.
I was listening when you read it anyway, so there's no point in me seeing it. I had the controller set down as I was taking it in.
The clock's.
I need.
This clock here.
You need to come around with me because for some reason my torch has disappeared, so it's all dark from what I can see now.
Oh, there's a key in here. Oh my God! Jesus. Secret. Right. There's a key in. Like, have a look in there. There's a key. In this clock. Yeah.
Key in the clock. It's not letting me. There we go.
Can you see anything with it, or?
Oh yeah. Where you gone?
I'm through the thing. I'm looking at the stairs now.
Cool. Yeah, because it's dark, so you need to come with me because I can't see.
Oh right. Have you not got? Yeah, your torch is still in your hand, but.
Not on my side. It's not. It's like what happened yesterday when I could see yours and you couldn't see mine. I've not got one on mine.
Cool.
We're going upstairs.
That's the only option, isn't it? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now what?
You hear that?
I did. Can only be the girl. Let's go find her.
Where's John in all this? Is he just
where has he
chilling
gone?
downstairs? Not entirely sure that's fair.
She's in here.
Is she? Whoa.
Stay here.
Stay here? Okay. You go first then. What was that on the floor?
Andrew?
This is going to take us into a cutscene, isn't it? Oh, Christ.
I picked up this.
Oh!
I just got grabbed by a.
Let me go!
We're all gathered here in one place again.
Jesus.
Dreaded the purpose.
My heart, man. Woo!
I really clenched my toes and it hurt. I did it really suddenly.
I assure all gathered here today that our town will be free of the devil's grasp. Together, by God's grace, little hope will prevail. My word on it.
This court is hastily convened, but with good reason. If we are to finally rid ourselves of the evil,
There's the faceless again.
then we
In
must
the museum.
act today. I accuse you, Mary, of witchcraft. What say you, Reverend?
The evidence, as discovered through my investigation, is beyond question. Mary uses her puppet as a familiar to summon and serve the devil.
We have been deceived by
Do we still think we try and save her?
guise of innocence.
Yeah.
This puppet was mistakenly used
Yeah, I
to
reckon so.
denounce Tabitha, but it has always belonged to Mary and Mary alone. She allowed her own kin to be executed as she watched in silence.
That is not so.
Because I think those things are grabbing us in the future where we are because they want us to help them. So they grab us and pull us into that.
What's this? No, they've lost their minds. That's my only option.
People have lost their minds.
It was never my intention to bring harm to this town or its people. Can you not help me?
What can I do? If I could do something to stop this, I would, but...
Now in her hour of greatest need,
I don't
this
see
child
how.
of the damned pleads once more for the
Wait.
devil's help.
I beg the court's indulgence. Please guide me at this
This
seek your
belongs to
counsel.
Mary and Mary alone, and it is the devil's.
We have to stop this. The only madness is right here in this court. Carver, he's the evil one.
We have been swayed by malice. The truth hidden from us, but not by
I've had to tell him
Mary.
to say that, and I best I got the right
Reverend
thing.
Carver is the one urging
okay.
us to believe in the
Be
devil.
silent.
This is all
You'll
his
not deceive
doing.
us any longer. Your true purpose is plain to see. I will see this town purged of all evil.
Carver's
He's
to
right.
blame.
Listen to what he's saying. Carver is to blame.
What must I do to bring Little Hope back into the light? I fear the Reverend and what he is capable of.
You have to stop Carver. It's him, don't you get it? He's condemning Mary to take the heat off himself.
I know what must be done here.
Ooh. Do you think this is the climax?
Sounds like it.
Well, I think we've got to fight off those people
Be
first.
still. What is the meaning of this outrage?
It's whispered something.
What I have just learned sickens me to my core. There are serious questions which must be asked of you.
Oh, okay then.
Oh,
How can a man of God conduct himself in such a way? Mary, your suffering is at an end. You are free to leave.
Fools! Misled by a child! Do you not see what she is? The truth stares at you from the depths of hell, yet you see nothing. The
Come on.
devil's daughter has deceived you all, not me.
we got you, dickhead.
Have it.
I see her! Satan's
Whoa,
whore!
she's a child, man.
You will pay heavily for your crimes. I was one of the first to fall under your spell. Now all of Little Hope is mesmerized by you.
I have not the words. Without you, I would be dead. You saved me. I shall remember you all my
You,
days.
you are still weird, so if you can help us with those demons.
Like, that's weird.
But I didn't save you.
Yeah.
Do you hear that then in the
But I
background?
didn't save you.
I don't think that would have been picked up on the stream. But that was
Yeah, very weird.
weird.
Hmm.
What, the
But I didn't save you.
Yeah, it was picked up.
Oh, that was picked up on the stream apparently. Oh.
Good.
I can't believe it's finally
Connor
over.
says, I
Is
hear
it
Hans
though?
scream before I
Ashley
see him
Tisdale's still
scared.
coming in at some
You were right
point.
about the
And she ain't coming for High School Musical.
The genuinely evil one.
Yeah, I
Let's
can't
get
really
outta
see a Mickey Mouse popping in just to say hello.
No.
I know.
Where's
it's
John
weird.
gone?
I mean, he's still chilling downstairs.
Tell me
yeah,
what
he is.
happened. See the girl?
There he is.
Mary?
I think finally, this whole nightmare.
Don't
is
say
over.
that.
Oh, she's about to
Don't
get.
say
Oh,
that,
something's
love,
gonna
bloody
happen.
hell. Although the music does sound a little bit more.
I never
uplifting.
trust these games. I know. I was just thinking that as well, but it just lulls you. I swear.
Oh god. Are they going outside where the demony thing was?
Yeah. We did well in that courtroom though. We must have both pressed the right decisions.
Unless we've completely fucked it. one of the two. And
Well,
we're about
yeah.
to find out, I guess. Is it curator time?
Potentially. I'd like to get. If we have just finished it, I'd like to get an actual end scene so we know what's going on. But we've got that premonition of Ashley still, so she's coming up at some point, whether it be the teaser or at the end of this.
Oh my god, daytime!
Daylight! I love daylight. I missed you, daylight. Oh, I feel
Nothing bad-
alright.
Hang on. Yeah.
Is that Vince?
Hey! I'm real sorry. I know it wasn't your fault.
It is Vince.
Both of us been through some real tough times.
Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah.
About Half a mile or so, there's a diner with a working phone. You call for help and you leave this place.
Well,
Don't
you
you
could have
ever
told
come
us that at the
back.
start, and we wouldn't have to do the whole thing.
Ain't nothing left here for you.
I feel like we could have done it with the
I
whole
think
gang
if we
there.
had like another run through, we could probably do things a little bit different, but
Yeah. I think we probably will do another run
Sorry
through
for what I've put you all
privately on
you reckon?
channel. I think we'll try and do the opposite of what we've done or something. Get them all killed or something.
We've all had one hell of a rough night. More than anyone.
That's gonna haunt me forever.
Where's the bus driver?
You're not alone here.
Take it easy on
We've
yourself.
all been through
You know
hell.
that, right?
Finally get out of this hell.
Yeah, we haven't worked out. Like Katie just made a good point. Where's the bus driver?
Wait, what?
But that's
Who's
that's the
that
bus
now?
driver.
Just stopped by themselves.
With a burnt
Yeah.
ear.
I just wish we all could have made it.
That's Andrew's voice.
That's him! But it's the guy from the fire. 'Cause that's why his ear's like that. Because he survived the fire. He was the bus driver. Yeah, the older version of the 70s one.
We're diverting all traffic through Little Hope. You okay, buddy? You seem a little confused.
Finally, we know.
I just want to get these
What?
folks to where they need to be.
I doubt a short delay will trouble him too much.
So there was no one on.
Was it all in his head?
Oh,
It was all in
that's
his head, I
annoying.
think. Because he's concussed.
So this is telling the story of what happened to the bus driver, then, right?
Yeah, but that's where I woke up as Andrew. In that exact position.
Shut up!
It's all in his head. He's just playing the part of Andrew.
Help or getting us out of here. Hi there. How you doing? Excuse me, but we're looking for our bus driver.
What?
Have you seen?
Right.
That's why he was like that then.
Sounds like you could drink.
Better not, thanks. Need a clear head.
What are you doing? The audio from the game's gone. Whatever you just did stopped it.
Oh. Okay, the audio's just dropped out for some reason, which is weird. Let me just change.
Oh.
What the hell on in
It's
there?
alright, it's back by the looks of things. Whoa.
Get the hell out of here!
I'll go once I look you in the eye.
The stream has
let
gone
me
weird.
in.
One sec, mate.
Hey!
This is the explaining everything as well.
Just what we need, right?
I don't think he gets how bad a mess we're in.
Trying to save it.
There.
It's not it.
Yeah, it is. There.
I didn't clock that at all though. He got concussed
yeah,
and it
no,
was
that
him
was
the whole
weird.
time.
That's it. Game over. You're done. For now, at least. You could always try again, see if you can get a different result. Not a bad effort. Some found redemption, some didn't. All your doing. And you eventually found him. The bus driver. Maybe he can now put the past behind him. until we meet again. Maybe in the South Pacific, or the
Nope.
Indian Desert,
Oh.
or somewhere else.
Okay.
But we will meet again.
We've still got Ashley to come up, so there's more to
At
come.
least one more time.
Is this going to pan over to the books?
Or the House
That
of
would
Ashes.
Probably be the House of Ashes then. Now, if I remember rightly,
Yeah.
the thingy popped up at the end of this bit. We had to.
Yeah, it'll be after these credits. So, whilst these credits are on, and to avoid getting struck
Yeah.
down again for the music, shall we discuss what we've just learnt, discuss the game as a whole, until we get to the trailer for the next game?
Yes. So, I kind of had an idea.
Just got this bloke
That's
singing
really
over
weird,
it the whole time.
Let me change like the audio settings because that's gonna sound really weird. Wait, that's not this one. Oh, gee. Right, I've switched that down so I can hear you. Right, so I think. I mean, I was quite a fan of the story. I think it had way too many jump scares. Yeah.
Yeah, it was jump scare heavy.
Yeah,
compared to the
I
last
thought
one.
was really, really good. Like, it had jump scares in the right places, but it wasn't constant. Whereas this, for me, was a bit too jump scary. Like, this is why I don't like horror games. And horror films. It's like, I don't mind gory stuff, but like I think jump scare stuff is just a really cheap tactic, and like yeah, you can get people every time with it. Like that's what's made this so entertaining, probably for people to listen to and to watch and stuff. But yeah, it's just a bit of a cheap tactic, and I think they didn't need that with the story. Like they could have just made it, you know, a nice scary story with, you know, a couple of jump scares. But I was definitely much more of a fan of the way that they did the QTE stuff in this. Compared to Man of Medan, and I also really liked the kind of the way that they the characters seem to have a bit more decisions to make compared to Man of Medan as well. And then finally, I think the thing that I thought was probably worse than Man of Medan was the controls. It seemed to be more clunky than ever.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with all your points. I did really like it. I am looking forward to the next one, so I thought it was good. So my general overall sort of thinking is that I enjoyed it and it was good. However, I agree with what you've said about the jump scares. It did seem to rely heavily on the jump scares as opposed to other forms of horror. I think Man of Medan did a really good job with the suspense and leading you up to a potential scare that then never happened, and then someone had come in later. And it messed with your head a bit more on the other game, which I think is a better tactic to use. But yeah, it seemed to be the only scares in this were jump scare after jump scare, which is fine. But we can skip to end, so when I finish, we'll do that. But yeah, I think it could have done more sort of mind. This is the parental guidance series, so it can do more of the mind fuckery. That would have been a bit better as Man of Medan did. And I think they could have done with using a bit more suspense and kind of get you on bated breath like they did in the first game. I think if they'd have mixed it up, it would have been a bit better. I thought the ending, whenever things do ending of almost, because it wasn't a dream, but sort of in his head, but, you know, along the lines of it was all just a dream, I feel that them endings are cop-outs. But it was a much more inventive cop-out. It's still a cop-out, but they thought about it a bit, because I didn't piece it together and think the bus driver is Andrew. Obviously, because I said it at the top of this episode, I still thought the bus driver had a part to play, but I didn't piece together that he was that part of the puzzle, if that makes sense. I think me and you should have done a lot better figuring out who Vince was, because when I found out, I thought, Christ, that was obvious, weren't it? But until we got a couple of clues at the factory, we didn't click on that at all. I think we should have picked that one up. But yeah, all in all, I rated it. If I was to compare the two, I think that I like Man of Medan for things that I don't like Little Hope for, and I like Little Hope for things that I don't like Man of Medan for, if you know what I mean. They sort of outweigh each other. But I think they're both really good, and I would be looking forward to a third. And I think if we press the X, or as I'm told, cross button, then we are about to get a teaser of the third one, so then we can discuss that briefly and round off this series as a whole if we take a look. Are you ready to
Changing
go?
the audio mix back so they can hear it. Yeah, go for it.
Cool, let's have a look then. So this,
Mind you, didn't we also get like a little tale of like this was a good ending or this was a bad ending on the last one? Oh, this is it.
You believe in God?
yeah.
Absolutely not. We'll start believing.
There she is.
We are under attack by I don't know what. You wouldn't believe me even if I tried. Hell, I don't believe in I was there. Sumerian myth.
Dark Pictures Anthology presents Call of Duty.
Jake could be well up for it.
Tomb Raider now.
Where they live on dust, plagued by the demons of the underworld.
There's your confirmation. And there's your on the O, the bit of the crescent moon that you saw at the symbol on the spine of that book in the curator.
Hmm.
Doesn't give away too much, but it looks like the deserts of sort of
Definitely.
lands, that sort of way.
Yes, and it looks like a very modern setting as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the premonition that we got about Ashley Tisdale wasn't actually featured in that trailer, so we've literally just had a premonition from the next game in the game
I mean,
before that.
what they
which
might
is weird.
do, because I know that they were talking about it being completely up to developers on next gen, but like save files and profile information and stuff does pass through. You know, if it's built into the system, what I'd like them to do is I'd like them to go through and say, oh, if you played Little Hope and you got that premonition, it should unlock something in the next game. So maybe like another premonition or an extra hint from the curator, or you know, just something, you know, that'd be quite handy.
Yeah, they've done that on previous games, like they used to do for Mass Effect. When you'd done something in the first game, they'd carry over your save file to the next game. So they could do a similar thing to that.
But wow, let us know what you think of the game in the comments, and you know, if you want to see us do this sort of thing again. This is now the second game in the series that we've played. We will probably be playing the third as well, and we'll probably get that up on the channel. I kind of hope it hits around the same sort of time of year as well, because I think it was nice to do like a little Halloween special. When Man of Medan got released, that wasn't in December. I think that was in a March. Was that right? March last year. So,
that was March, yeah.
Which is a bit weird timing for a horror game. It just kind of seemed a little bit out there, and then there was nothing really other than this game sort of announced for the following year. And the only reason it came out at this time of year is because it got postponed due to, you know, everything that's going on in the world. So I'd kind of like to see them keep up that Halloween release, because I think it's like this series is perfect for that. And obviously that would give us more content every Halloween.
Well, yeah, we've got to be a bit... Yeah, I agree. I think it is the perfect time for a game like this now, and surely the sales should show. I bet the sales of this have been higher than the Man sales, just because of where it's fallen in the calendar. But just quickly...
I also know that I was checking out a couple of things yesterday in relation to how well the game has been seen by critics, and the lowest score that I saw was at like a 74%. I think that was on PC Gamer Inside or something like that. But Google reviews are on 93%. Steam is saying it's 9 out of 10. So yeah, I think overall this has done really well. And one of the things that they did actually try to do at Supermassive was they did actually take on board some of the criticism from Man of Medan and actually change things. So things like the QTEs, how now there's like a little announcement almost before the QTE, whereas in Man of Medan it was much harder because it was like the QTE would just flash up and you had the same kind of time frame to do it. And it's, if you're not expecting it, and let's say for example Like in Man of Medan, there was a couple of times where you weren't necessarily doing anything. It was much more story driven. So if you were to like put your controller down for a second and then all of a sudden QTE pops up, you're screwed. So they did change that obviously with this, and I do think that's definitely a better mechanic. And also the fact that there's more personality choices. Like there seems to be a lot more different ways that you can take the conversation, but I would like there to be.
Yeah, and it seemed to influence how the other characters perceived you as well a lot easier, and you could build on the relationships a lot quicker. With like one answer seemed to build up the meter quite a bit more than Dan did, and you have to really work on it. Whereas we were building relationships up to the highest in the first episode on this one.
One of the things that I think where actually Man of Medan was better is the fact that it like this game doesn't really seem to matter if you like what kind of relationship your characters have amongst themselves. It's almost like there is no real difference. Like we could have played that, like maybe on like another playthrough, and we could have exactly the same reactions with slightly different answers that we've given. It kind of feels like it was meant to play out that way. Obviously, other than certain things.
Do you think?
In terms of,
I don't know, because I think with Taylor and Daniel, if you kept going on with the domestic, I don't think that they would have acted in the same way before they died, because they were starting getting close and stuff before they died. But I think they'd be a bit more standoffish.
Like we said, Angela at the start was really standoffish, and that was like a continuing thing. And it wasn't really much of a story arc. Like I imagine that if you change things, really drastically, you don't treat her the way that she comes across from the start, then you might be able to have different conversations, and she might come across better. But it didn't seem that the actual character relationships played any part in the story.
Yeah, I just think there might have been more ways to help people if you were better relationships with them. I think we just had middle to good relationships with all of them, and we didn't have any bad ones, so we haven't seen the negative effects of it from our playthrough. I think if we were to just pick all of the answers that we thought were the negative ones, I think it would have played out slightly different. I think it would have come to the same sort of climax anyway, so I do agree with you. But you touched there on what ratings you've seen given for the game. In your opinion, you can do it out of like 100% or out of 10, whatever, but what two we'll go for, because they're the two that you mentioned. If you were one of these people that were rating it, because, of course, as the original reason that we created the channel is because we want to sort of go to a journalism video game sort of thing and make a website at some point. But if you were to do a review of this and you were to give your score at the end, what would be in one of those two
okay, well,
measurements?
I'll do out of 10 just because I think that's a bit fairer.
That's the general consensus,
I would
isn't
say... So, obviously this is all personal. Whatever people could take from this what they want. They might have played better horror games, or they might not be a fan of horror games at all and rate this completely different. So I'm one of those in the sort of the latter group. I'm not a fan of horror games at all. Man of Medan was the first proper one that I've delved into and completed because I thought the story was really good, and obviously we were just kind of bouncing off each other. We were both going through it, both absolutely terrified, and it felt better to almost like sort of go through the same.
Speak for yourself.
Right,
I've not been scared once throughout both games.
But no, it felt better that we were both kind of going through the same ordeal, let's say. So that was definitely better. I know you can play these games in single player mode, but I can't help but think that you might miss bits if you did.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's only the one perspective.
From my side, the fact that I'm not a fan of horror games anyway, but also, the only reason I'd ever play a horror game like this is because we can play cooperatively. I'd never sit down and play this game on my own, just because I don't find them that fun. But I would say, in terms of story, in terms of the fact that we kept coming back to the game, we've played this all weekend, and I haven't sat here and gone, no, I don't want to play it. I mean, I have. I've gone, oh my god, this is too scary for me. I'm out. I don't want to do this. But that's just because I was terrified. The fact that I was terrified means the game was actually quite good. So I'd be hard pressed, even as a non-horror game player, to put this on the lower end of the spectrum. But I mean, other than the clunky controls, I would say that's probably the only real thing that brings it down, and maybe the ending, because it like you say, it does feel a bit like a cop out. I'd maybe say it was an 8 out of 10. I'd say Man of Medan was probably the same rating for me, but that was better because it was first and it was the original, and it had I think, a better storyline. And although they built on a lot of the things that they were criticised for in Man of Medan, I think there's still much further for them to go. That I'd like to see in House of Ashes. So, yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is a fair score.
Yeah, I'd agree completely. The figure that I had in my head when I asked you was 8 as well, so it looks like we're agreeing pretty much unanimously on it. I'd agree that Man of Medan should be 8 out of 10, but like I said, there was negatives of that game, positives of this, and negatives of this that were positive in the game before, so I think they kind of outweigh each other. I don't know if I'd say that one was better than the other, but they are both 8 out of 10. But if they're going to churn out 3, 4, oh, what a rapper I am. If they're going to churn out 3 more of this series, and they're all going to be 8 out of 10s, then that is a very hard thing to do nowadays in a gaming industry for a franchise they've just created recently. And I'm more than happy if they keep churning out 8 out of 10s every year with this, so that's not a problem for me whatsoever. So here's hoping that House of Ashes is going to be Man of Medan, a little hope, and we've got another 8 out of 10, if not more, in our hands. So yeah, it looks like Supermassive have got a decent franchise in their hands here, and looks like it's going to be one horror game annually for us on the channel next couple of years at least to come. So yeah, there we go. Decent little handoff there, and a decent little series that we've finally got a fully completed game on the channel. So there we go, fantastic. But I think from all that discussion at the end, we've gone through the whole game now. I don't think there's anything left to say on this. Do you, Dan? Is there anything you wanted to add as we leave the... Well, we had 5 viewers, but we leave the 4 that are currently watching us at the moment.
I mean, all I'd say is, in terms of the game or anything like that, I mean, what I'd say is a big shout out to Supermassive, because this is now 2 games in a row where I think they've smashed it out of the park. It's really hard to come across a developer who can consistently give good games. I mean, even the massive developers and the huge publishers and stuff, they have spectacular fails, and this just seems to be more of the same of Man of Medan, which I think was really, really underrated anyway. And the fact that this has come out, and we kind of hyped it ourselves, like we knew it was coming out. We saw the trailer in Man of Medan, and we were really excited for it. Also, terrified, but also excited. And I think they haven't given too much away about House of Ashes, which, again, between the two of us, we will probably build that up, because there isn't really anyone else who we can speak to about this in our community, like around our friends and colleagues and stuff like that who would ever come across these kind of games. Which that for me is the real shame. I'd like to see these up in the same kind of in the same regard as things like Resident Evil, because I do think that although they're completely different styles of games, if you're just looking at horror games in general, I'd like to see this franchise up there, because I think it has a lot to it. There's a lot going for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they really deserve to be looked at in high regard and looked at in their own right as a burgeoning franchise that's going to do well. But one thing that I think we'd be remiss if we don't mention is that both of these games day one at $24.99 in the UK, which, and obviously that's probably because it's a smaller length game when you do one playthrough, but these games are designed once so you can get hours out of this. So I think for a full run of a title like this, for being pretty much half price, also works with it. It's great, because a lot of people obviously can't afford the ever steep price of current games when they release on day one. So 99 a pop for these, I think, is a really good move by them. One thing I wanted to say, just going off and on a bit of a tangent, is that my laptop during our recently been delivered to my side, so I'm going to test that after the stream, and my fans will be alright because they've been replaced. So there should be some content on the channel coming from myself, some more list videos and stuff like that. So we should be good to go on that. But yeah, the $24.99 price is a really good selling point of this. So that also helps.
I think they probably aren't making a whole lot of money on that as a physical game. So if you do purchase it digitally, usually the developers get more money for it. Obviously obviously they've got enough money at the moment. You know, they've got actors like Will Poulter and Ashley Tisdale. So you know, that's quite nice to see that they're able to afford big name actors like that. I say big name; they're not huge names. You know, they're not A-listers, but still, you know, yeah.
Even they are for games. And I think we should also give a bit of a shout out to Until Dawn. I think Until Dawn was almost tester for this series and the starter point for this. Because Until Dawn follows the same sort of path as these games do, and that adds some names, like Hayden Panettiere, isn't that? But I would give Until Dawn like a 7 out of 10. So I think, yeah, they've just built on that for this one. But yeah,
I agree. But what I mean is, you know, for a franchise that's kind of just kicking off, you know, and it's got like its own IP, as these games that are like popping up, they're like mini stories, and or like, you know, long films and stuff like that. It was just with that interactive element, and the fact that you can change how the story goes and the way that it's delivered, like the fact that you've got this curator, who you're not quite sure who he is, like he's this like enigmatic figure, and you know, you like, it's very sort of fourth wall breaking when you speak to him, and he's talking directly at you. It's like, okay, so is he telling us these stories so that we can change these people's lives, or is he you know, is it going to culminate where he's actually becomes part of a story with you, you know, like maybe when they say like this is the final game that we're going to do in this Dark Pictures Anthology, is he going to be the person who you have to work out his story, or is his story going to be all of these little stories combined to say how he's been involved with it, like stuff like that. I'd really like to see it follow through. So I mean, if Supermassive is listening and they want any ideas, or you know, if games testers, I think both of us jump at the chance to do it, because we've been on the train of Supermassive since these two games came out. We've told everybody who we've come across about both of them, I think, and the fact that we've only had, you know, we're a small channel on YouTube, and we've had, you know, I think, was it 11 people watched the first two, like, so 11 people watched the first one, and then, you know, I'm assuming it's the same 11 people have watched the second one, and then hopefully by the time this goes live, we'll have 11 people, you know, still interested in watching this one, which, when you think about it, is an eighth of our user base. So yeah, I think, you know, that's quite good. If we had, like, you know, 8 million subscribers and we had, you know, 1 million of them watching it, that would be quite a lot of people, and, you know, quite a big percentage. So yeah, I want to see Supermassive do well, and hopefully people will still be interested and, you know, want to get these games and want to see what they can do differently, or, you know, if there's decisions that they would choose over ours, and maybe if they want to watch us play through this again, you know, if they found it funny, and maybe pick some different decisions this time, you know.
Yeah, or if people, because this is brought it for the people that have seen the series, if they want us to do a playthrough of Man of on here, maybe we could also do that, or Until Dawn or something like that. Just whilst we were talking, then just went through the bonus features that we were talking about the other episode. It seems to be like interviews with like Will Poulter and the devs and things, and there's art and things, and creating the demons, it says. So I think it's that in the bonus features. But conscious of being seen 3/4 of this video of us doing stuff, and then the rest of it was talking, and probably your only.
I've just gone into the bit with the bonus features, but
I don't know if it.
Yeah.
Oh, fair. Yeah. Don't know if it might be worth picking this up. And before you do wrap it up, just to remind people that need to be into the channel at 6:30 on Tuesday evening, we'll be able to catch the brand new video of us doing the tiers of ranking the Rockstar games from best to worst. But yeah, if you want to sign it off, I shall say goodbye, and thank you very much for keeping up with this series and watching throughout. Now that it's finished, give us a comment and let us know exactly how you think and what you think we did wrong or right on the series, and what you want to see next as the next series, because I think we should stick to streaming some short to get full games and full series out as a playlist on the channel. So yeah, let us all of us said, and from me, thanks again for watching the series, and a good bye to you, XPL Dan, XPL Pointy 66.
Right, so yeah, we'll sign off, I guess. I just want to say again, you know, reiterate what you've said. Thanks to anyone who's watched this, or even just dipped in for 5 minutes here or there. I appreciate you probably don't really understand what's going on. If you have got this far, then you will have obviously understood a bit more of the story. We appreciate any comments, any feedback, because obviously we want to be giving the kind of content that people want to watch. So if this is the kind of thing that's for you, let us know what it is that you liked about it. If you liked it, was it the fact that you could hear our reactions? Is it something where you think, oh, this would be better if we had face cams, because that was one of the things that we were talking about, that might be an option in the future. Would it be something where you guys want to get involved with us, because there is an option for this, or I think you can have 5 players, as far as I'm aware. So maybe in the next one, if we've got a bigger user base and a couple of you, are fans of horror games, or like us and not fans of horror games and want to get involved, we'd like to know about that kind of stuff, and maybe develop the channel a bit more towards the things that the subscribers want, rather than just the kind of stuff that we enjoy. So, because also, as although we're big gaming fans, everyone likes different things. So some of the things that we might not like for example, I am not a massive FPS shooter kind of guy, but that's Jake's kind of forte on the channel. We've got some older stuff coming up from Dean. Ollie's much more of the single player focused kind of stuff. I'm much more into the racing games kind of stuff. So we've got what we think is quite a wide variety, but there's always room to expand and have a lot more stuff coming up on the channel. So there could be some some genres of games that we haven't had on the channel that you want to sort of expand our repertoire on. So we could do that as well. But yeah, let's wrap it up for now. Thanks for staying with us, and let us know what you want from us in the future. And stay safe.